So today I wanted to build a starter home fully from scratch, not a remodel this time. And this home was actually inspired by a house I saw, just caught a glimpse of as I was driving around the other day. And I just really liked the shape. I thought it was very simple but charming. It had a bit of a farmhouse feel to it. So honestly, what you're seeing right now is basically the entire house. I thought that with the shape of this house, I could do a starter home. So that was the inspiration for that. I'm raising it up on a few platforms and I end up scooting it back a little bit. When I drove past this house, I obviously couldn't see the inside or the back of it, but I just kept it very simple. The back was very, very simple, and the inside is as well. I was inspired by the nifty knitting door here. I absolutely love this door, and these cats and dogs windows. As you can see, the windows, the columns, the door, the swatch of the door all match this very unique uh, color palette. And I honestly don't think I've ever used it. I've used the whites and blues and browns from the swatches, but I've never used this mint color. I don't think even maybe when I played the Not So Berry challenge with the mint gen. But anyway, here I'm just doing the foundation. I actually tried something where you build with taller walls and then make the front porch a platform, and then you raise up the interior walls to line up with that front porch. So I had tried that. I've seen other builders do that, and I just was experimenting with it. I didn't like it for this build, and it's something that's newer to me building in The Sims, so I wanted to maybe save it for a different build. Here, the floor plan came together really quickly because I had actually previously built it when I was experimenting with that, but ended up just starting over. And here I picture on the right side the kitchen, the dining, and the living room. So I did an arched opening carrying the pillar header detail into there. Um, I love this little front porch, and so we have an entryway, two bedrooms, a bathroom, and I put this flooring in here. Even tried some different colors, but you'll see later on I actually end up going with something totally different. I started with the bathroom in a way just to get over it. Actually, in my job as an interior designer, kitchen and bath design is my favorite thing to do. So I actually really like designing bathrooms and kitchens. It's just a little bit different in The Sims, but than in real life. And so here I pictured these Sims wanting some as much storage as possible. So I have a medicine cabinet mirror, and then I kind of did some minty colors in here, and then I did a little cabinet above the toilet for additional storage. I tried to use just this regular base game tile, and I really like it for bathrooms, but I had just got the Jungle Adventure pack with this freebie that Epic Games was doing for a few different Sims packs. So I ended up getting Jungle Adventure, and I've really liked it. I've enjoyed the gameplay, and I've loved this tile, so it's been fun to explore it. And here I just pressed Control F when I'm doing the flooring, and that's what gives you quarter tiles. And so I created this diamond pattern, and then I decided not only to do it with the tile, but to do it with the floors. And this is something I've seen in person and in design magazines where they paint wood floors and then they create like a diamond pattern on it. So I wanted to do that here, and it really isn't that expensive. You could do it with, um, you know, less expensive flooring, but I really love this painted uh, wood floor from Cats and Dogs. So I pictured these Sims, they bought this farmhouse and they um, did some remodeling with the tile and painted. Maybe the floors were kind of yucky, and so they ended up painting the floors this happy kind of creamy yellow color and white. So I did that through the whole house, and here I'm doing the kitchen, and I just used that same tile but in a swatch that was more neutral on the top to just have a hint of that mint color, and I couldn't resist using these. This is kind of wild, but I just thought I would have fun with this mint color and just try and make it cute. And I decided to have the appliances match this mint color. So when I say update, I use that term very loosely. Maybe they updated it in the 80s or something, or these are original appliances and they're working just fine. So that was sort of my thought process. And then here I am doing the dining table, just a simple wood. I didn't want things in this house to be too matchy, but I also did. It was an interesting balance of like, I loved kind of using every swatch possible of this mint color, like the dining chairs and these appliances. Here I'm just kind of rearranging the kitchen for a nice flow, and I end up adding the tile there, and I really should have just added it on the other side. And but here I create kind of an archway, like maybe the kitchen was closed off originally and then they opened it up with these nice minty pillars. And I just add a table over, or excuse me, a light over the table. And I just feel like some of these little touches from other packs that maybe aren't the very, very cheapest thing can really add a lot of personality to the builds. And as much as I like matching, I was almost used that minty sofa like multiple times when I was building this. But I do like kind of making it not too matchy. So a mixture. And I found that rocking chair I put on the front porch. You see, I actually move it again later on. So here I'm working on the living room, and I really, really love these tables from Parenthood, and I end up sliding them together. I wish they would just kind of slot together better, but I end up sliding them together, and I'm always learning. We're always learning to be better. I'm always learning to be a better builder. So this is a technique I've seen where you put you put objects on the slots you don't want them to go. You put something else so it's the same height, and then you slide it in place and then delete everything. So definitely a helpful trick, but it's a little cumbersome when placing things. So anyway, here's the kids' room. I wanted to have a computer in here, so I tried to do that before I did too much more decorating to make sure I would still be in that starter home budget. I added this bed here, and this bed is also from Cats and Dogs. I bet you couldn't have guessed that if you didn't know. And I never use it. And I thought, why not? Let's just do kind of this not too matchy. I tried other beds, but I just was like, let's do this. It can kind of be a pink and blue color palette. And I tried changing the, I guess, primary bedroom a little bit. You can see it's kind of this like diagonal pattern that echoes the diamond pattern on the floor. I couldn't decide if that was too matchy or not, but I thought the blue on blue made it not too matchy. So I got a little stumped with the kids' bedroom, the nightstand, and so I ended up hopping over here into the living room and played around with placements in here. I often do that in my real world job as an interior designer. I like to have the whole home come together and be cohesive. And so I frequently will jump around from one room to another room. I find something while I'm looking at one space and it actually would go great in another space or things like that. So I'm hopping around a lot, and you can definitely see that reflected in my builds in The Sims. So here I tried that mint green color again, and I just was like, nope, it's too matchy. I can't do it. So something I've been trying to do, you saw I tried out little there, is to incorporate kids things not just in their room. That's my tendency to do, is just like only kid things only in that room, in their bedroom. And I'm trying to kind of have them expand so the house is like for everyone in the family, not just the adult Sims. And here I'm cluttering the kitchen a little bit, so I even tried that out. I'm really enjoying playing around with some of the new stuff from Jungle Adventure. I really like that tree. It's very on trend. And then I end up moving the rocking chair inside instead of on the patio. and add a little rug. I love that swatch. I thought it was perfect in here. I swapped out the coffee table a little while ago, and this is one of my favorite rugs from the packs that I have. I know the newer ones, they're definitely better options, and I'm excited, to try them out when I get some more packs in my collection. But I really like this one from Get Famous, and those two swatches, they have like a new swatch, and then they have kind of this faded swatch. And so I like the idea of this is a rug that they've had maybe for a long time. And then I put this side table, I pictured them painting a fun color or, maybe got a garage sale. And then I had that floor lamp in the corner opposite the tall plant, but I just didn't like those two tall pieces opposite each other. So I tried to kind of angle it so it was a little more interesting. So yeah, that's about it for the living room. And then here I jump back into the kids' room, and I really like this little bunny. I've been really enjoying incorporating him into my kids' room builds. It's just refreshing from some of the other pieces. I probably could have used the cat or the dog from Cats and Dogs. That would have been really cute too. So here I picture this child really liking animals. This is with the infant update, a new little rug, and I thought the gray and the pink and the blue looked really good with everything. I looked at other swatches to see if one would work better, but I ended up with that. I like to size down the nightlight for the kids because that's kind of how normal nightlight is in real life. A real life nightlight. And then I put the dollhouse with two little animals, a little cat and a little horse. Again, just picturing this child really loving animals. Here I am starting to work on the nightstand situation. And I struggled a lot with this. You'll see so many different attempts. I didn't want something too big, and I don't love a lot of the nightstands in The Sims because with the grid system, they just are weirdly proportioned. So I even tried sizing one down, but this is so big. This is the nightstand that specifically goes with the bed, and it is like a full tile. It is a third of the bed, and that's not how I proportionally design nightstands in my job. So I tried to push it against the wall, tuck like make it smaller, not come out in the room so much. But I even tried it. I tried it again, but I just couldn't with the the desk and that corner in the chair. It just seemed so big. So I ended up going with this pastel pop side table, and I thought it was really fun. Like it's something maybe the kid built and painted themselves. And so I added a little lamp and some little accessories on it. So I liked it in the blue. Oh, and this is just, again, trying to incorporate the children in the home into the whole home, not just isolate them in the bedroom, in their own bedroom. But I did have fun cluttering, adding that little like craft container that's from Parenthood. And so I felt like I was pretty well done with the kids' room. And here I'm trying to add a dresser here in the primary bedroom. I really like this one from Cats and Dogs because I think it could be like a dresser, or it could be a cabinet for like a linen cabinet that you have sheets and extra towels and things like that in there. So I like the idea, since it's kind of by the bathroom, that it could go either way. Now, because it's a starter home, I end up only doing one nightstand in the primary bedroom, but I always design with two, because I just like the symmetry that it creates, and people want a lamp and people want drawers and surfaces to store things on. So I'm about done with the furnishing, and now I'm working on the wallpaper. This again was, I probably could have gone more matchy matchy, but I actually really like this one. That yellowy color matches the floors really well, and I pictured the child adding that little heart drawing detail. Um, and then I really like this gingham pattern. I thought that worked really well for this farmhouse. I ended up going with this lighter version and actually liking it better in the living room. And you can see I forgot that wall, and that should have been tiled. So I'm gonna try to ignore it for the rest of this speed build, but it is very hard. So I end up trying to I end up going with these flower wallpaper, and I thought that the parents maybe just like redid the floors in their bedroom and then kept the old school wallpaper or something. Um, so I kind of like that. Here I'm adding a runner to the entryway. I really like this kind of green color here. So I add some details, and I have found I'm really starting to like more and more, honestly, in real life, in floor plans that I work on and in Sims builds, that I like having an entryway. I like a place for people to sit down, take off their shoes, or hang up a coat, or just kind of people congregate. Sometimes it takes a while for people to leave and to say bye, and so I like having an area. So that's something I like to do in The Sims. When the welcome wagon comes, it's nice to have a space for them and everything. So anyway, I'm just adding a bit of clutter into the front entryway, and then I'm also adding some decoration on the walls. Um, I love these little decals, and picture this child sim, getting maybe did his own drawings and then taped them up on the wall. So here I liked the idea of this here, but I ended up putting it in the kitchen. And I also added a little calendar, and it has a fluffy gray cat, which is like my gray cat. And I swap out the light fixture here to a smaller one, and then add a table lamp here in this room, just a really simple one. And then I add a rug, sized up. I'm sure you've seen this, but just this is one from Snowy Escape, and I just size it up and put them together so it's just a little cozier on the feet. I had a very similar one from IKEA for a while, and I had it set right when I got out of bed, so it was just nice and cozy on my feet. Again, please ignore that mismatched wallpaper on that wall that needs to be tile. So yeah, when I'm decorating the walls, I tend to hop around. That's just kind of the nature of how this is in The Sims, where it's like you're just going through the wall decor and then you're like, oh, actually, I like this here, I like this here. Um, and because the child liked animals so much, I was like, you know what? I'm using cats and dogs. Let's have like a pet bowl. So I added a trash can too. And sometimes, I don't know if you've experienced this, but the columns like tend to kind of rotate on their own when you open them back up. They go at angles. So I just fixed that one. I added an outdoor trash can and a mailbox. And then I added just a little pet bowl and a little pet bed, which makes me happy that, it's a family of four. And so you have a little animal, a cat or a dog. Um, on this cute little farm. So I could totally see this house being in Henford on Bagley, the cottage living world, or just on a bigger lot, even though it's a small house. And then to go with our nifty knitting trend, I picked this. It's in Debug. And again, I'm using Twisted Mexi's Better Build By mod to help sort through debug and live edit mode objects much easier. And so that's how I got the nifty knitting mailbox. It's something that your Sims can create when they're knitting at a certain level. Um, so I just thought it looked perfect with this. Here I added a couple flowers on either side of the front door and a light fixture above, little sconce, and then I start landscaping. I also, actually, before I start landscaping, I just go around and I check all the windows, realize I hadn't added trim on the roof here. And I don't know why I went with this kind of reddish brown roof, but I thought in my mind it kind of matched what this type of house would be. But then I pictured that the family painted it. They're very creative, and they like paint the windows and stuff this fun mint color. I don't know, but again, it's this weird theme in my mind of things matching and then also not matching. So here I'm creating the path with just these nice little pebbles, and then I start landscaping. I really thought these purple planter boxes just from Debug were so cute. And again, the looked cute but didn't match perfectly. So I used pretty much all the landscaping was Debug, including these window boxes. That's why they don't snap to the windows. Here I'm just raising them up, but I thought that they looked really cute and really happy. I tried these debug planters along this path, like the Sims are walking by frequently right here, and so I thought like, oh, a little planter path, like, and but you'll see I end up changing it. So here I'm just doing some simple landscaping on the front. As I've mentioned before, I'm an interior designer, not a landscape architect, landscape designer. So this is something I'm learning in The Sims. I, it's not my favorite, but sometimes I really enjoy it, and I know that it's part of like the curb appeal of the house and everything. So I'm definitely learning. I like watching other people's sim video building videos to get inspiration, to get ideas, and um, I'm looking at a lot of different, interior inspiration, different companies, pages on Pinterest and Instagram and stuff like that. And I just do that for work, but I don't often like look at landscaping in the same way, like really focus in on that and landscaping inspiration. So that's something I want to do. And also just for like my personal house would want to, um, you know, learn how to landscape it better or design it better. So here I'm just adding all these debug plants. I used these beautiful pink ones, and I think the purple one is from Cottage Living, and I really love them. I wish they were something that was just in debug and live edit, but here I tried using these plants from that I got from Jungle Adventure, the little like low ground cover colorful ones, but I end up changing them and I add these cute little mushrooms. I love this like cottage farmhouse feel that they create. And I actually really liked those pink and purple wildflowers, but end up going with these ones, and these are, very inexpensive, but they're one of my favorite pieces. So I'm just adding some terrain paint. I go through phases where I'm like very careful and very precise with terrain paint, and then other phases where I'm just like, it's good enough. So this was a little more of a it's good enough phase. But here I decided to do like almost like privacy hedges because I picture, yeah, lots of Sims walking along here. And I even earlier you saw I tried a fence to fence in the backyard, but to save money, and since I don't have a back door at this time, I just did the back there. So here I'm finishing up doing a little more terrain paint, and doing some finishing touches on the landscaping itself. It's very simple. I only did stuff in the front. So this time I want to take you inside and give you a little bit of a tour, um, and show you how it's all come together outside of the Speedgo. So here is the final product. I did build this in Newcrest, but obviously you can locate it anywhere you want. I pictured it actually, I could see it on a really large lot. So here is everything. You've already seen the landscaping, so let's go inside. I added a little bench on the front porch, and in here, thank goodness, everyone needs to know I fixed the wall in here, so it's tile and it matches. So entryway, we have a little coat rack and hooks and some shoes, a runner, thermostat, and a plant. In the tiny bathroom down here, we have the tile floor that you can see everywhere else in the house. Um, and yeah, nice storage. You can see when I put the walls down that like minty color on the bottom, which I wish you could see more of, but you can't because it's such a small bathroom. I love the little purple accent in here. And then moving into the kitchen, I love the decorations child, made probably at school and brought home. Little pet bowl, a trash can, some clutter here, just very simple. And then the living room, just mismatched, different colors and mixtures of things. And then over here in the primary bedroom, very simple. I just so want to add another nightstand, but we got to keep it. I just wanted to stay under the 20,000 simoleon budget. So it's the master bedroom. I picture this just very simple. I actually really like this wallpaper, but I'm sure not everyone loves it. And we definitely have this like yellow and pink theme going on here. I actually ended up swapping out the um, bunny here with, because it's 155 simoleons and this is only 90. So I ended up swapping out. So we saved a little bit of money and I thought the cat was just adorable. And so we have like a cat here, a couple cats here, a fluffy gray cat on the calendar. I'm obsessed with that. And yeah, the kids' room. So I know we don't have any draperies or anything like that, but it's a starter home and so we have to make do, and I definitely wanted it to be cute, but here it is, and I hope you guys enjoyed this build. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe.